In this video, we're going to look at how to use D2L's email tool. Now, one important thing to understand about D2L's email tool is that it's strictly an internal email service. Now, what that means is that you can only send emails from D2L to other D2L email addresses. And likewise, you can only receive emails from a D2L email address. So you can't, for example, send an email to someone's Gmail account or even a cccs.edu email account from D2L. You can only send emails to other D2L users' D2L email accounts. So to access the email tool, we'll go up to our mini nav bar at the top of our screen. We'll click on the email icon and click on Go to Email. This will take us to the email interface. So here there's a couple of areas. On the left we can see our folder list that has our inbox, sent, drafts, trash, as well as any other custom folders that you create. And on the right here we see our list of emails in whichever folder that we have selected. Now we also have a settings button here at the top right. This lets you change some of your email settings. So we'll look at that first. So when you click on settings here, you can see some of your email options. Now if you scroll down, you can see that one of these lets you create an email signature. This signature will appear at the bottom of any emails that you send. If you scroll down below that, you'll see some display options. Now one of these is the message preview pane. Now what this does is this creates a little pop-up menu that's attached to the bottom of your screen that shows you the emails when you select them. Now the difference here is that if you don't have the message preview pane selected, when you click on an email, it'll pop that email up in a new window. So if you don't want your emails to pop up in a new window, if you'd rather just see them below your list, you can select this message preview pane. Now we'll click on that to see what it looks like when we go back to our email view. So underneath our display options, you can see we have forwarding options. Now you have an option here to check this box that will allow you to forward incoming messages in your D2L email account to a different external email address. Now earlier we talked about how the D2L email only works within D2L. But this still applies. What this really does is this just sends you a notification to let you know that you have a new email in D2L. Now if you're going to do this, we ask that you do this with your cccs.edu email address. So this will send me a notification to my cccs.edu email address to say, hey, you have a new email in D2L. But I'll still have to go into my D2L email tool in order to respond to that message. So once I've selected all of my appropriate settings here, I'll click on Save. Now we can see here that the message preview pane that we selected in display options has appeared. Now I can move my mouse to the bar that separates that from my email list to click and drag and change the size of that preview pane. Now my window in this video is pretty small, so things look pretty cramped, but if you have a larger screen, this may work well for you. So you can see now when I click on an email, it will show me that message in the preview pane below. So in order to send a new email, there are a couple ways we can do this. If you take a look at the class list video, we explore in there how you can use your class list to email one or multiple students. And this is actually one of the easiest ways to create a new email to send to students. However, if you want to create a new email straight from the email tool, you can click on Compose here. Now this opens up a new email that doesn't have anyone addressed to it. So to add an addressee, we'll want to click on the To field. You can either type in a name, and D2L will autofill that with any recent names that you've used, or you can click on Address Book. So this address book will allow you to search for users in D2L to add to your To, CC, or BCC fields. So for example, you can search for students in your course to find their email addresses. But again, you may find that the class list is actually the easiest way to send an email to students. So you can put a subject in your email here, and in the body section you can create your email. So here you'll see all of the normal editing tools that you're familiar with in D2L. These are the same ones that you'll see when you're editing news items or other content in your course. You also have a spell check tool at the bottom right here, if you'd like to use that. And underneath the body of your message, you have an attachments section. There are a couple ways you can add an attachment. You can either drag and drop an item from your computer straight into this field and it will attach it, or you can click on the Upload button, and this will bring up a navigation window that lets you navigate through your computer to find the file that you'd like to attach. So to attach it, you'll simply click on the item and select Open, and it will attach it to your email. I'm going to cancel since I'm not attaching anything. And when you finish creating your message, if you scroll up to the top, you can send it. However, if you're still working on your message and you want to save it for later, you can also click Save as Draft, and this will save it in your Drafts folder. So I'm going to close this window since I'm done editing this message. So that's how you create a new email in the Email tool. Let's take a look now, though, at how to read any emails that you may have received. So right now this is showing me all of my messages in my inbox. If I want to, however, I can filter my messages using the Filter By drop-down menu. So I went straight to the Email tool from my home page in D2L. However, if I was working in a course and I went to my Email tool, I would have the option to filter my messages just by the specific course that I was in. And this may help you if you have a lot of emails in your inbox. Now, if I have more than one page of emails, I'll see an icon pop up here that allows me to move between my pages of email. Or I can change the number of emails I see on this one page. If I set it to a higher number, like 50 or 100, then I'll see more emails on this list here. So to read an email, I'll simply click on it. Now if I have the preview pane selected, it'll show up down here in my preview pane. And again, my window is pretty small here, so this is cramped. But if your screen is larger, it may look better for you. And if I don't have this message preview pane selected, it'll pop up the message in a new window. So I can read my message here. And if I'd like to reply to the message, at the top of it, I can click on Reply or Reply All. I can also forward this message if I'd like to do that. So once you click on a message to read it, it will automatically mark that message as read. However, if I'd like to change that message to be set as unread, I can click on More Actions here and choose Mark Unread. And now that email is back as an unread email. So we mentioned over here in the folder list that you can create custom folders. Now by default you have your inbox, you have sent mail where you can look at emails that you've sent, you have drafts where you can see any draft messages that you've saved, and you have the trash where you can view any messages that you've deleted. If you'd like to add custom folders, however, you can do that by scrolling up to the top of your inbox or whatever folder you have selected and clicking on Folder Management. This brings up a window where you can create a new folder. Now you may want to do this so that you can organize your emails by specific classes, for example. I'm going to name this My Folder for this example. And then I'll click Save. Now you can see my folder has appeared in the list here. Now you can also create folders within folders if you want to create a more complex structure. So if I want to create another folder inside of my folder, I can choose the Parent drop-down menu here and make my folder its parent. Once I click Save there, now I can see a plus sign show up. So I can expand that folder and see that there's another folder that lives inside of it. So in my folder management list now, I see a drop-down menu next to each of these folders. And here I can edit those folders that I've created if I wish to rename them. I can delete any folders I don't want, and I can reorder my folders. To do that, I'll just click on an item and move it up or down through my list, and click Save. So I'm going to go back to my inbox here, and we can look at how to move emails into folders. So if I scroll down in my inbox, and I click on this message to view it, I'll see that I have a Move To drop-down menu. If I click on that, it'll show me a list of my folders. So if I want to move it to that folder that I just created, folder 1, I'll select folder 1. And now it shows me that my message has been moved successfully. Now I can see that I have that one unread message in folder 1. And lastly, we're going to look at how to delete a message. To delete a message, you'll simply click the checkbox next to it and click on Move to Trash. Now it tells me that message was successfully moved to the trash folder, and I can see that I have one extra unread email in my trash folder here. So that's how you use D2L's email tool.